If you believe the rumour mill, a new Specialized Tarmac SL8 could appear at some point this year. While that will undoubtedly be welcome news for some, the new bike that I really want to see from Specialized this year is an updated version of this bike, the Venge. But before I explain why, if you agree with me, drop a like on this video, and if you don't, make sure to leave a comment below to let me know why. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our wonderful channel for more videos like this in the future. I want a return to the days when Specialized pushed the boundaries of aero road bike design to when its prevailing dogma was aero is everything. It's not that there's anything wrong with the Tarmac, it is undoubtedly one of the best all-rounder road bikes currently available, provided you've got deep pockets, of course. For me though, the Tarmac formula is just a little safe. It's a jack of all trades, master of none type bike. That's great if you're only going to have one road bike, of course, and I even own a giant TCR Advanced Pro Disc, a similarly racy all-rounder road bike. But in my dream garage, which unlike that of my colleague Warren Roster exists only in my head, reports of the death of N+1 are greatly exaggerated, and I would love Specialized to bring us something special in 2023. When the Tarmac SL7 launched back in June 2020, much was made of its credentials as one bike to rule them all. So much so that the Venge was immediately retired. Nestled away in the Tarmac SL7 press kit though was a very interesting graph, with faster and lighter on its X and Y axes and a number of bikes plotted on it. Helpfully, Specialized circled the Tarmac SL7 with a big red pen up in the top right hand corner, indicating that the Tarmac is both light and fast. Now, as often with these types of marketing things, there wasn't a scale, so we probably shouldn't read too much into it. But it is interesting to note that the Venge is further along the faster axis than the Tarmac SL7. So it seems even Specialized acknowledges that the last Venge is a faster bike than the current Tarmac SL7. Specialized and its team of engineers, experts and pro racers undoubtedly know more about winning bike races than me, but isn't the goal of most bike races generally to be the fastest rider? Now, the Tarmac SL7 is of course lighter than the Venge, but not by as much as you might think. In fact, it's only around 160 grams lighter on the frame according to Specialized. So, given an identical build, that is a difference which would be nigh on impossible to register, even on a hill climb or a summit finish. Of course, frame weight alone might not tell the full story, but we saw World Tour spec Venge builds weigh in at just over 7 kilograms in its heyday, so the Venge was hardly a porker in its most recent form. We might also wonder if a few years in research and development could have brought that down another 200 grams or so in order to hit that magic UCI minimum weight limit of 6.8 kilograms with the same faster frame shapes. With the benefit of a few years of development and a set of recently updated UCI technical regulations, it's entirely conceivable a Tarmac SL8 could surpass the aerodynamic performance of this Venge. Now, if that were to happen, would it make my argument a moot point? Well, perhaps. But what I'm really arguing for is for Specialized to return to its days of aerodynamic boundary pushing. Over the last few years, they've backtracked somewhat on the aero is everything mantra and have gone down a bit of a different path. First, the Venge was retired, then later that year, Specialized launched the S-Works AFOS, a bike which was essentially the antithesis to the Venge. The Aero S-Works Sub-6 cycling shoe was also updated and pitched at the AFOS crowd in 2022 in the form of the S-Works 7 Lace. Now, even though I didn't get to ride one, the S-Works Venge Vias still holds a dear place in my heart. It is a great example of a time when a mainstream bike brand truly pushed the boundaries of what was possible with road bike design. The Venge Vias undoubtedly had its compromises, especially in its initial rim brake form, which involved scarily convoluted internal cable routing for the proprietary hidden rim brakes. Our tester at the time, Ben Delaney, did say that the brakes were surprisingly good, with plenty of power and easy modulation, but they also required very precise setup, and the cable routing for the rear brake in particular left quite a lot to be desired. The Venge Vias also used a proprietary handlebar and stem which didn't allow for easy adjustments, and not everyone got on with the upward sweeping bar shape either. Nevertheless, I still love that bike for what it represents, and if a disc brake version was launched today, nearly 8 years later, I think it would still look radical. Given Specialized released a slightly wacky S-Works TT5 time trial helmet last year, and that's the one with the integrated head sock, it's clear the brand still has some of that spirit left in it, and I'd like to see it put to good use again on its bikes. Given I've said all of this, if the Venge was to reappear in 2023, you'd expect me to say that I would instantly rush out and buy one. But I almost certainly would not. Given the trajectory of bike prices in recent years, it's highly unlikely that I would be able to afford a new Venge. As mentioned earlier, I already have a great road bike too, so it's fair to say I don't really need a Venge either. One can dream though, and it's arguably besides the point. I don't want brands to make cool new bikes and things just because I could potentially buy all of them. I want the sport of cycling to be technologically exciting and progressive in the same way that Formula One cars exist in relation to everyday cars. Partly because, as a tech journalist, I have a personal stake in it, but more so because I find it fascinating. Specialized, I hope you're listening. Do you want to see the return of the Venge in 2023? And do you think that brands should be pushing bike tech as far as possible? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our wonderful channel if you haven't already. And if you want even more aero tech, then why not watch this video?